Cowboys ranked as the best team in that division. The Giants next, the Washington football team next, and then the Eagles bringing up the rear. Now, Swagoo, you and I have had our little disagreements over this. I see how you were receiving this as validation of your perspective. Go ahead. What do you think of those rankings, Mr. Spears?
Makes sense to me. I would have had Washington football team too. Don't get me wrong. I think that defense and how they can take a leap with Ryan Fitzpatrick as opposed to betting on Daniel Jones playing well. We'll see what Daniel Jones turns into. But the Cowboys, listen, G, this is what I tried to tell you when you were being hard-headed and wanting to fight me about the NFC East. We all have to remember that the Cowboys were ravaged by injury as well on the offensive line. They dealt with a scheme that nobody fit on the defensive side of the football. We all watched everything transpire. And not to mention, the quarterback tore his ankle up and was out for the majority of the season. And it wasn't like these games in the division were blowouts. When the Cowboys played against the New York Giants and the Washington football team and the Philadelphia, they weren't blowouts. These were still competitive games. So if you put Dak Prescott back in that lineup, if you bring Lyle Collins back with Zach Martin and Tyron Smith, and you draft well, and Dan Quinn brings over 4-3, where all of these defenders fit and were drafted for because Rob Marinelli and Chris Rashad were there, I expect them to be a way better football team than they were this previous season, and that's why they're the best team in the NFC East. It took a damn power ranking for you to believe it, and I've been on this damn show 3 years. Believe me sometimes, G.
Listen, I just looked it up. Thanksgiving Day, Washington 41, the Cowboys 16 in Dallas. I'm not sure that was such a competitive game. David Pollack, let me come to you. Who do you have as the best team in the NFC East?
Well, first of all, Greeny, I think Marcus epitomizes the Cowboys fans to a T. They always celebrate preseason power rankings. That's what they do. That's who they are, right? We can't celebrate in the season, so, whoa, preseason, baby. Vegas odds, power rankings. That's who we are. That's what we are. We hadn't done anything else to celebrate in a long time, so let's celebrate those. Listen, I know they're going to switch their scheme. Marcus, they can switch their scheme and they can get better on defense for sure. I think they got to get better personnel-wise on defense too. I think that's going to have to help. I got Washington, man. I think Fitzmagic coming into the quarterback spot. I look at that defense. I think it's only going to get better. I love bringing in Samuel because I think he's a guy that you can do all the new school stuff with and have a lot of fun with, another toy in that offense. So I'll take Washington. But Marcus, Greeny, let Marcus and Cowboys fans celebrate the preseason rankings.
I love it. Dan Graziano, who do you have?
It's all so grim, right? I mean, we're talking about these rankings relative to each other. They're all in the 20s. That's a rough time for the NFC East. So what I've learned in my time watching and observing and covering the NFC East is that we have no idea what's going to happen. So what I've been saying is I think something comes out of nowhere and surprises you. Give me the Giants. I think they'll be better. If Daniel Jones can stay healthy, if Saquon Barkley comes back healthy, give me the Giants to be the team that wins the 8 or 9 games it always seems to take to win this division. And I'll just take my chances because we don't know.